Okay, Tom. So the next question is a fairly direct one, but do the best you can with it. So, what can you offer us that someone else cannot?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who else you're interviewing, and
Mm.
I wouldn't want to speak ill of anyone else. But what I can do is talk about what I could potentially bring that's a bit unique to me
Yeah.
in my experience, maybe. So my background previously, as you've seen from my CV, is around has a lot around project coordination. Now, whilst that's not wildly unique, it does actually provide me with a lot of prior knowledge to the project environment. It actually served me really well during EDA. Like when we got into the nitty gritty of the bootcamp course, we were building products and doing project teams towards the end of every week.
Yeah.
And actually, whilst my peers took a little bit of time to get used to those kind of structures and processes that sit within an actual project environment, I was able to adapt quite quickly and take on different roles in those projects and also help others to kind of understand it. Yeah, for a junior developer role, I imagine a lot of the people that apply probably won't have as much of a deeper understanding of those frameworks. So that's probably something that's a bit unique. But also, a large part of the study at EDA was around human skills, so not just the technical elements, but actually what industry tells EDA that they want is collaboration, teamwork, ability to have difficult conversations, feedback, and active listening. They actually taught us these things, and whilst I learned that I was good in some areas, actually I needed to work a lot in others. And I really developed those skills a lot over the last 10 weeks of learning. And it's actually improved my skills even in the project space to beyond what I thought they could be before. And actually, I don't think there are many courses out there that are teaching these skills. And I think it probably puts me quite favorably within the pack for soft skills that are directly related to tech. So if you put me in a group with other people, I could very quickly build rapport with them and learn what people's different needs are in order to deliver the best result in a high pressure project environment quite quickly. So yeah, I think that sets me apart quite nicely in the pack.
Fantastic, thank you.
What on that one?
That was a nice succinct answer. So again, Tom was carefully addressed the sort of the little hook in that question, which is, I'm asking you to put yourself ahead and others back or down. We just don't do that. Like the way in which Kiwis communicate, we never would speak ill of other people. It's just not what we do. In fact, Tom and I were discussing this question. It's unusual to get asked it, but upon occasion you do. Why should we hire you? It's a bit of a prickly question. Why you? Who are you to be here? And why should we hire you as opposed to someone else, or what puts you ahead of the rest, or these sorts of things.
You might even be told that you're this is a second stage interview now, and it's between you and one other. Like what
right.
sets you apart,
Yeah.
and you don't even know the other person.
Yeah, yeah.
And even if you did, like, how is it a trap?
That's right. And I've also heard grads saying things like they got asked a question in this way, which is, "You're a bit different to the rest." Tell us about your strengths, or you're a bit different. Why should we hire you? And the thing is that's actually a positive, but you don't feel particularly good about it because we don't like to be different. We like to be part of the group. Yeah. But the thing is many of you are career movers. Many of you have got unique backgrounds, and I think you need to play to them and get used to talking about them. Yeah. So Tom was clever. He went in and said, I've got a background, as you know, in project coordination, and that's given me some great skills to be able to work in a team. I wasn't put off or flummoxed by the fact that project work came fairly regularly and I was in my element. And I noticed that other people found that a little more difficult, but I just had these skills. They were normal for me. And yes, in your organisation, I would have these things as well. I think that's a really powerful sort of thing to say, something very, very simple and easy to say. I have all of this background here, and a lot of it is relevant. Then he went on to say, I also have this aspect to what I've studied that was built from feedback from the sector, these human skills, and you used both human skills as a phrase and soft skills, which is important because some people won't understand human skills and most people will understand the soft skills. And you talked about difficult conversations and feedback and a number of other things which are really great. And to me as an employer, again, it's A, you just don't get this in normal institutions. B, you even don't get it in employment situations, so when people have a career. But the other aspect is that I imagine as a hiring manager, they're sitting there thinking, I would like some of this for my team. Mm-hmm. I would like to partake in some of this. And we often see this again. We get approached by employers saying, hey, this human skills stuff, can I buy that for my team? We kind of need it. And I think that's a really valuable thing to mention. So good answer. It was succinct. It was really powerful. I think you reiterated key points. Seemed like a good one to me.
I think if I was to critique myself, I could have, depending on, I don't really I'm not actually answering this question in real life, so it's a bit hard to kind of pretend. But if you come from a background that's very unique, maybe we were just talking before about how we've had grads that have come from a circus performing background, or that, fire eaters and things like that. If you've got something that's genuinely unique, that's like screaming at you to say, I think it's a really great opportunity to say, well, I don't think you've got many fire breathers that have applied for your role. It's a little joke and it kind of sets it aside, but then you can go into it. But seriously, I've got all of these, these skills that set me apart. I think it's a really good opportunity to break the ice, and fire breathers break the ice, and really and kind of put them back on your side and de-escalate the question, which can be quite tense at the beginning. If you've got a real passion for accessibility in tech, you want to build things that people with that are hard of hearing or that are visually impaired can react with tech. If that's something that you're really passionate about, this is a great opportunity to really hammer that home, because that is unique and not everybody is thinking about that. Use those unique things to your advantage, and this is a great opportunity to say them in an interview that otherwise you wouldn't get.
Yeah. Really, this question is another way of asking what are your strengths and how are you going to promote yourself in that balanced way. I also think that sort of antagonistic aspect of putting someone else down, someone might do that to you, and if you can deflect that and show your character through, as Tom said, look, I wouldn't put someone else down, I wouldn't speak ill of someone else. That's a good thing to do as well, and I think it takes the tension out of the question and out of the answer. Hopefully you don't get asked that. I think it probably doesn't do you a service and do the interview a service, but it can do later on when you're looking for really strong character people to lead others or be in those difficult situations. Cool. Okay.